it was those kind of things that I've learned over the years. Stop thinking what you think is best and listen and watch. Network marketing is about us talking to friends and family. But the reason that guys usually don't get it is because, I don't know, it's just sort of awkward if I was talking with another guy and saying, oh, I like your haircut. Where did you get that? Oh, that shirt did you get? Where did you get that from? Oh, that's so cute. Women do it all day long. So what I realized that if I'm not going to change them, I have to build a model where they are. And when I see some of the more experienced people, they'll get them going. And then after they're having some success, they try to change them to come over and meet that business model. We never changed the business model for them to go and join. We joined them. Now, Sally, that you're making some money in this business, I want you now to learn how we're doing it. And they don't want to do it the traditional way. And they move so much faster than the traditional way ever even thought about moving. It was an upside down approach. And what we could do is we could talk to literally thousands, where before I was talking to 10, 20. But we're talking to thousands. And then what we do is we sift to find the ones that are interested in building the business. But it's the opposite. We used to just look for people who were interested in the business. No, I'm looking for people who will just do a post, because she has the ability to contact many more people than I ever did. When I started 32 years ago, I was told to put a list of 200 names together. These young ladies have 2,000 to 5,000 friends, and that they have instant, just hit a button and they can send it out. Lord, we never had that opportunity. So I am so thrilled with social media and how fast and how many people you can talk to and how many people are out there that are looking, but they don't want to spend money. So make them money, and then they'll do whatever you want. If Sally, I can get her to do a post, and she starts making money. There's going to be two different ways we're going to do this. One, she's interested right away to do a post, or she's not interested. She says she doesn't have the money. Then I'm going to show her how to get one free. We actually prefer when someone says, oh, I don't know if I want the product right now. I'd be interested, but I don't have the money. Perfect. Because now I'm going to get her to do it, and I'm going to give her one free. And it's just not free. In fact, she's going to have to earn it. And what we do is, depending on what the product, if you sell 2, 3, or 4, we'll give you one free, because we don't want to just be giving it away. So anyway, but what I want to do is, as fast as I can, let's say Sally says, yes, oh my gosh, I'd like to buy the product. Fine. Hey, I can show you how you can make money, or you can get your next one free. Because right away, what I want her to do is do a post directly or do a referral post, which we call a shout out. And when we called it a referral, we changed the name because some people say, well, how can I do a referral if I've never tried the product? So hey, would you just do me a favor and just do a shout out and saying, hey, my friend Buzz is selling this product. I know him. I trust him. If you're interested in this product, he'll contact you. So get her one for, if she does a shout out, she's going to refer me. She's going to tag me in that post, and I work the post. And if I can sell 2 or 3 tubes, so I'm going to make, depending what the product is, let's say I sell 3 tubes, I'm going to make 30 to $50. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Sally and say, Sally, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This went really well. I've already made $40. If you'd like to do the business with me, I'll give you that $40 because they were your friends. See, I don't want the money. I want her to make the money so that she will start building the business. And she said, what? You'll give me the $40? Well, yeah, they're your friends. Well, what do I need to do? Well, we need to get you some product. Now, here's where I flip her to become a brand affiliate. Well, Sally, what we need to do is we're going to need to get some product. If you've already sold, I already got $40. There's more here that people are commenting. I'm going to teach you how to get more product sales. So now I'm paying her to join Nu Skin. They've never seen this before. Every other network marketing company wants money, wants your credit card to get started. I just sent her $40 in profit. She says, okay, what do I need to do? Now she's asking me, well, I said, we're going to have to get you registered at the company so you can buy the product at my cost. She's not hesitating because I just sent her $40. First off, if we can get these posts up on the product, they then respond back, either a comment or a like, that they're interested in that product. And we teach them how to respond back to them to see if they would like to buy the product. If they hesitate, then we say, well, listen, Charisse, how would you like to get your tube for free? You do a copy paste post for me. And if we sell 2 or 3, you pick a number. If you sell 2, I'll give you one for free. So I just turn you're not interested to do the business. You just want to get a free tube. We're just jumping to Charisse's pond, to Kathy's pond, to Amy's pond, one after another by leapfrogging to the next pond. So that's how we built the whole thing, on that simple model. Then I asked them, well, when you started now, you decided to do the business, what were you looking for? It was amazing. Not one of them said I was looking for a business opportunity. They wanted to make $200 to $500. And I thought, this is the most bizarre thing, because that isn't how we did the business for the decades before. I wanted to make $200 to $500, and they said it was free. I didn't have to spend any money. All the other companies that I heard, or the ones that I've done before, I bought product, I set it in my bedroom, and it sat there. This one, they just said, and it worked. I would put a post up, and I sold, and I made money. Then they asked the question, what were you going to do with that money? And it was never about self. It was about their family. And then I asked them the question, okay, now this is after they start becoming an executive at brand rep. And I remember this was May of 2000. We're in the business for 3 months. These ladies now were all executive. They became executive in 2 months. They were making some pretty decent money because they were selling a lot of product. They told me what they wanted the money for. And at this point, they had 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in their group. And I said, did you think about making this kind of money? Because now they're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 US dollars a month. And I said, did you ever think about it? And did you ever think about having 10, 20, 50, 200 people in your group? None of them said they thought it was possible. They said it's surreal. And then what they said, if you would have told me then that I was going to be able to have 20, 50 people in my group and I would be making this kind of money, I wouldn't have believed you. And I right then and there, I knew we had something really magical, because there are so many amazing women in this country who are just looking to earn extra money, whether it's a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, a single mom, a married mom. I don't care. They were just looking not for a handout, just show me a way to make a little bit of money. And then when they started doing it, they said, oh my gosh, I'm good at this. And what's the amazing thing is that how many women that we brought in who had absolutely no business experience in their entire life. And these ladies just now are blue diamonds and team elites. And not one of them thought that they would ever be successful in business. And we never did that before for the previous decades. Never. I would never recruited probably 90% of these ladies because they didn't fit our profile. We were looking for successful men and women who have been in corporate America, who had their own business. We didn't want to talk to a single mom in a 2-bedroom apartment with 2 kids. We weren't interested. They didn't have money. They had no experience. But these ladies come in and they're hungry and they're coachable. Our growth from 2017 to 2018 in executives was up like 300%. Then from that, the next year, we're up 123% on top of that. And then in 2020, we're up to 206% on top of that, so if you put it all together here, from where we were, I'm talking June to June, we were up 863% in executives, June of 2021 versus June of 2018. And this is in the social media group. When people ask us, what would you say are the 3 things that you did? First off, we identified who they were. We were willing to surrender our titles, our experience. I had to surrender myself to these young millennial stay-at-home moms in the UK. It's like I had to listen to them, and they had no business experience. And I owned restaurants before, so I had to surrender that they knew something that I didn't know. So then what we did is that we started recognizing them like they never seen before. And we recognized. And I can't tell you how many thousands of packages that Maureen and I sent out. I mean, that's what she did, package after package. Soon as they LOI, I mean, Maureen would hand write a note just saying, Sally, you're amazing. You're reaching this level. We put a product that's something, any little cards that we sent to these. So it was like a birthday gift. So we recognized if they hit LOI and they got 2 more blocks, 4 blocks, 6 blocks, 8 blocks, we were just sending out handwritten in an envelope with a product and some, it was a before and after pictures. So if we were selling toothpaste, we would find another social media product that they hadn't probably used yet, because we wanted to introduce them to other products without getting them off message of focusing on the toothpaste right then. And then later on became the Instaglow. So we would send them different products. And then, of course, when they hit executive and gold and lapis, but you would not believe how they would post them on Facebook. So here's a card. I don't know if Maureen made this here. It has the heart, and you can see the new skin logo there. And then she would handwrite, Antonia would have your name on it and something really special about hitting that level. And then, but after a while, these ladies would get on the call and they would almost be in tears of the recognition, saying, I just can't believe it. They said, you know what? And I love these lines. Do you know how many times I've loaded and unloaded the dishwasher? I did laundry and folded the laundry, and packed the lunches. You know what? Moms don't get thank yous, but this company, they keep saying thank you. And it would just keep coming, and they would tell their people, this is the greatest company. They didn't go to New Skin yet. They don't know New Skin, but we started introducing the New Skin culture. And then when they hit those levels, I did a recognition post. Maureen did the package. I did the recognition post with their picture, and they hit this. So we called it 2-star, 4-star, 8-star, 12-star. Those were blocks. And so we just called it, Sally just got 2 stars. That was LOI. I have to say that and the other thing that we did is that we systemized the steps. You post 1, post 2, post 3, all approved by legal, so that there wasn't any claims about income or about ingredients. I come from a fast food background. I owned 18 Wendy's, and everything was about speed. And it had to be simple, because you were going to be dealing with so many people that had no experience. So it had to be copy, paste, post, and what you didn't want them to stop and think. You wanted them to stop and do, not stop and think. Okay, so once we would see, even today, I check volumes and see who's moving. Now, I've got layers of leaders that are doing this, but for the first couple of years, we looked for anybody who had like their first block. And once we saw that, we immediately contacted them or their leader and said, let's get them on what we called it an upgrade or a leadership call. And don't let them sit out there. Get them on a call. After a while, those new executives or golds who are still only in the business for months they would schedule it all day long. Hey, listen, could you do an upgraded leadership call? I've got 4 ladies here. So what we would do is I'd get them on the call, and it was the same thing. Glad you're on the call. Again, having fun and congratulating them and telling them how wonderful and amazing they are. And then just saying, listen, you were invited to this call because you're doing really well. And we want to show you that there's different ways to make money. So we're not talking LOI yet. They don't know anything about it. That's what this call is for. Just a little bit and just saying, okay, you're amazing. Congratulations. Let me just walk you through that. There's different levels. We got customers, we've got brand affiliates, which you are now. And then we've got this thing we call executive brand rep. At this point, a lot of them haven't even signed up yet, or they just signed up. All right. They don't know anything about the compensation plan, nothing. They only know that they sell the product, they make money. So I just say, okay, now let's just, let me explain this to you. A customer for right now, they don't want to sell the product. They don't want to recruit anybody, but we love them. They're the foundation of our business. Then we have brand affiliates with you are. You can make money 2 ways. You can sell the product and make the retail profit, or you can get a sharing bonus on people that you bring in, and after that, you can make the $200 to $500, maybe some more if you sell a lot of product. But if you really want to get to the money, you've got to become a brand rep. So, and that's up to you. And some people do it quickly. Some people wait 6 months. Again, I don't want to put any pressure on them. So everything that we do is with working that we want to get a brand affiliate and get that person to brand rep. It's like any business. When I was in the restaurant business in the beginning, you have to, even if you're opening a new restaurant, there's so much work you got to do on the front end because you don't have any experienced people. So you got to hire, the grill, the bussers, the kitchen, all the cashiers and all this, you got to hire. So I knew that there was going to be a lot of front end on this thing here, the front end loading of my time. But the purpose of the first question, the purpose of that call, that upgrade call, is to get them to understand there's a business. We want to now let them start thinking, because they didn't come in here thinking business. So we're going to start introducing them, and then we're recognizing them as they move up. They still don't know exactly what it means until they become an executive, but they would become an executive so quickly. So the idea is that, and then along the way is that if I could teach you, Antonia, how to become, an executive, but you don't have much experience, but I'm teaching you to identify your people and getting on the call. I won't do the call for you. I'll do it with you. So I want you to hear me say it over and over and over again, till after a while I said, you don't need, Antonia, you don't need me to do the LOI calls. You get me on the executives of the above. So what I'm trying to do is transition your level of leadership as you move along. And then after a while, you're going to say to me, hey, I've got this. So then I'm teaching you how to drive the lines and do the same thing with the next level and the next level. It's interesting. When I started, because we weren't bringing in experienced people, I totally misjudged. My biggest mistake is when I decided to do this. I talked to Maureen. I said, what do you think? You want to do this one more time? She said, well, I don't see how we could avoid this, because this sounds like this is the future. And I said, yes. And we could change a lot of people's lives. I said, but it's going to be a lot of work. Give me 1 year. And I'm going to work this thing as hard as I've worked this. And I said, there's not going to be a lot of free time. Well, Antonia, at the end of the year, we were growing, but these ladies were nowhere ready. I said, give me 1 more year. And they still weren't ready because they had no experience. They didn't know how to lead. And it wasn't until 3 years that I could actually start thinking about backing away. So because remember, before we were recruiting experienced men and women. Here we're recruiting people who have most of them absolutely no experience at all. No people skills, no personal development, no management, no time management, nothing. And they're coming in and doing business, and it's growing, and they don't know what to do. And I think the first year I thought I was going to lose my mind, because this went, 24 hours. We were working 18 hours a day because they knew nothing. But they were so eager. They were so willing to learn. And they were just like, they were like my daughters, my gosh, they were hungry that I didn't get goosebumps or tears in my eyes, because they would call and just thanking me. I said, wait a minute. It's, I was the one. I said, no. This is new skin. This is what we do. They just couldn't believe that they were having success, having fun, and recognition, and people cared about them. But I misjudged it. It's, we survived it. First off, before we started, I'm going to say it was me, my wife Maureen, and Jolynn Winterly, all people who did not fit the profile, all grandparents. Okay, we didn't fit it, so we knew going into it wasn't going to be us. Okay, so what we did is what we did all the time in the past. We put together the profile of what we were looking for. Before I told you what we were looking for, we were looking for professional men and women. We weren't looking for a 20, 25-year-old. We were looking for a 35, 40, 50-year-old who had experience, had a large circle of influence. So when I studied who were successful in this, it was women 20 to 45 that age group, they were on social media. They were having some success there. I mean, they were engaging. And so we learned very quickly by studying them that what does it mean if somebody's active on social media? It's when they do a post, but some of these people are doing posts and they don't even get a comment. So we knew right away that that wasn't the person. But as Jolynn, who I've known for 28 years, she was with New Skin. There's a 10-year gap. And then she came back about 15 years ago when we were doing the Galvanic Spa, 2007. And she was really good at walking and talking to people. So she had that old skill. And I said, Jolynn, we've worked together. I said, we've been looking at this social media. I said, I think I'm ready to go. You want to do it with me? She said, I'm scared. I said, that's okay. She said, what do I do? I said, Jolynn, you know what to do. I'm going to give you the profile. I've talked to you about it. You just go out. So what she did is she went out at her gym. She had a personal trainer. And she started pitching the lady about the toothpaste. Oh my gosh, this toothpaste is going viral on social media. Oh my gosh, people are buying it and it's going crazy. People are making money. Well, her personal trainer, who's probably 50 years old, said, I'll buy the toothpaste, but I'm not on social media. And Jolynn was smart enough to ask the next question. This is what we did. We did for decades. Okay, Barbara, I understand that, but let me tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for maybe a woman 25 to 45. Maybe she has some kids. She's entrepreneurial. She's on social media. And she said, well, you know what? You're describing my future daughter-in-law. And Jolynn said, well, can I talk to her? And so I got to tell you, we were blessed because that in 24 hours, Danielle signed up. I got to tell you, she's not with us anymore. She's done five other deals since 2017. But she introduced us to enough and we knew what to do with them. And that's what we touched. So we have found more people. But, if they say no, well, then who do you know? And that's the whole idea. Once we got Danielle, she had about 4,000 friends on Facebook. Once we got her to do a post in her pond, we just started working that pond. And she popped up one. She didn't know what to do with them. But we immediately, as soon as we saw somebody have $200 to $500 worth of volume, we're getting on the phone with them. Hey, can I tell you more about the business? Would you like to know? Would you like to know how you can make some more money? We identified those leaders as fast as we could. Let me just tell you, Jolynn literally, the year before, she was at Emerald Felder Ruby. In 2016, she brought on 50 people in her organization. Great, not bad. When we started March of 2017, I said, Jolynn, we're going to do this, and we're going to have a goal that we're going to sign up 500 people. She said, but how do we go from 50 to 500? I said, you got to think big, think big. We didn't sign up 500 people. We signed up 5,000 in the first 9 months that we did the business. 5,000 people. And it was just because we were fishing with a net instead of with one fishing pole. We weren't looking for the person. We were looking to get all the fish in and then identify which were your super fish. So that's another key point is if you're on social media, you need to brand yourself. And I struggle with that. I can't, I'm not going to do what they do. I had to find my brand. That my brand was going to be is I was going to be the coach, the mentor of these women and showing them how to be successful in business and make money. So it took me a while for them to trust me because here's a man asking to be friends with them on Facebook. And so, if you look at mine, it says family man, entrepreneur, and I break the rules on social media because it's supposed to be just your profile. That's not going to work in my business. My profile was with my wife. So I was safe. I was a happily married man. I'm not trying to hit on any of you, not interested. So after a while, they started saying, well, this guy's safe. And that took about 3 to 6 months for them to trust me. So if you've got men, you saw my Facebook. I mean, it's all about in the levels and recognition. And man, do they love the recognition, especially on social media. And they'll take that thing. Of course, I tag them and then they'll put it on their timeline. And somebody's talking about how great they are. It's very hard. Every single one of the old time leaders called me and wanted to be coached on it. And leaders from other groups. And because I'm friends with so many of them, I probably had 20 to 30, if not more, call me. And I just said, listen, I'll give you an hour. I would let them see our training site. But what I told each and every one of them is that I'm going to tell you what the secret is. First off, there's no secrets because, we copied from the two ladies in the UK and Rebecca Morris, other people. We just copied. And so if it's just on social media, it belongs to everybody. But I can pick the 100 most successful Blue Diamonds and Team Elites in America. And you'll be lucky to find one or two because they won't be willing to surrender. They don't want to change. And it was hard. I fought it. I laughed at them. I didn't want to change. But what convinced me is that hearing the success and watching them and watching my children who are grown and now my grandchildren. So I asked myself simple questions am I going to grow this business? And if I don't grow my business, my legacy income is going to go away because they're going to die off. All right. Second is that if that's the future, and if I'm going to get the next generation of people, then I'm going to have to figure out, because when I started Nu Skin, I was 37. Well, that's the age that 30, 35 are the most successful, 40-year-old, are the most successful right now again. So, I'm not going to get them the traditional way, I don't think. So I said, if I'm going to lock up my long-term income, I'm going to have to get younger people. Well, and then I found out that at the social media, then I looked at Nu Skin, and after Truman said, this is what we're going to do, there was no more saying I'm going to be able to ignore it. And I'm thinking, Nu Skin is embracing social media with the products and things. And I would ask these leaders, do you think 5 and 10 years from now, we're going to be less social media or more? And everybody agrees that it's not going to be less than. So, you know what, when you're 40, 50, 60 and older, sometimes you just don't want to learn that stuff. I'll tell you, the first time I did a post, it took me 35 minutes to post it. I can do it in 5 seconds now. My sister, who wanted to do it so bad, for 45 minutes, I tried to get up her first post. She's in her late 50s, and she wept through the whole thing. She cried. And so I think it is hard. What you're going to have to do is find some men or women who embrace it and that are successful, that can see the future. And then once that happens, more and more. So anyway, I think they'll change. I think they'll come. There's the traditional way, and there's now the sort of, I think, the future social media. You can't make this person do social media. You can't get social media. You're going to have, I can still do it the traditional way. I know how to do it. And I can still have conversations and coaching on that. And I will tell you that the young social media people don't want to hear the traditional way. And here, traditionally, and I built the business on all these things, sitting down and having a cup of coffee, having lunch, inviting in my home, hotel meetings, and going to a conference and doing all those things and so on. And they don't want to hear any of that. Please, I'm giving you my experience here. That we found is that if we can take what I call almost the backdoor approach, and that is you get them in and you basically show them how to make money instead of telling them there's money, telling them there's a business. You know what? And they made $500, $1,000, didn't even know the name of the company was Nu Skin, because they're not looking for a business. They don't care whether it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange. They don't care if it's a multi-billion-dollar company. They don't care, what Blue Diamond makes. And if you told them that, they're going to go the other way. If you look at the big successes we've had over the years, it happened organically in the field. The toothpaste, when these two ladies figured this out in the UK, we had the toothpaste for 20 years, and it happened organically. And it's, you look at what happens, it usually starts where the company comes up with these greatest products, but somebody in the field figures out how to work it. So if you get it in front of the right people, they'll figure it out. But you've got to expose them to the success story. I remember when the galvanic spa came out, we were doing the scanner, and not came out when it hit success. And I refused to do the galvanic spa because I was doing the LifePak Nano and the scanner and the nutrition. That's my favorite thing, talking nutrition. And we were having in our living room every single Tuesday night, we'd have 15, 20 people doing an in-home presentation. And Maureen wanted to do the galvanic spa. I said, no, we're not doing it. So finally she said, well, can I do it at the end of the meeting? I said, fine, but you're not going to take away my business presentation. So I would try to sell a LifePak Nano. There would be 3 or 5 women who would go to our kitchen table, and Maureen would do a half-face demo. They couldn't afford the LifePak Nano, but they pulled out their credit card for a $425 spa. And I couldn't understand it. Well, yeah, let me just tell you, we were really concerned what was going to do. Our business went vertical. We were seeing 400 to 500, 1,000% increases over the previous year. And we didn't know what was going to happen, but it really fell into our lap. What we had to do was work around the clock to keep up with the growth. Fortunately, we had the system in place, but we were bringing on so many people. The growth was unprecedented, like nothing I've ever seen, because they were stuck at home. They couldn't go anywhere, and a lot of them lost their jobs or their income. And we saw a little bit as they started going back to work. But you know what I think what COVID did is it showed people that the future is changing. There's going to be a lot more people working at home. The biggest thing is we didn't know how we were going to keep up with the growth. We were just working literally around the clock, and we didn't know how long it would happen. But if you think about the people we were bringing on, hairdressers, even the school teachers who were having to work from home, they're closing down schools. They don't know what they're going to do. So there was, whether it was a business owner that lost their business, restaurant owners that couldn't touch people and be together. They were all entrepreneurial women. And but Nu Skin has done such a great job to keep the hopper full with new products that we can keep feeding the beast, so to speak, in a positive way.